Yo, yo, yo. It's Thursday. We're back. It's Reverse Polarity. I'm your boy, High Five Vega. This guy next to me, his name's Dean. Got a small car audio channel. You may or may not know him. What's up, Dean?
I don't even know myself anymore. It's funny. I always for some reason think that as we wind down to the end of the year, like things start to slow down, and it's like, no man, things are ramping up, and dude, I'm so exhausted, and it's not even like the beginning of it. It's
Do you
so
have any
so.
more travel, or is this all work for the channel at the house type stuff?
Well, it's both. It's work for the channel, work for the job, and then work for travel next year. So, I mean, right out of the gate next year, we have Knowledge Fest in February, we have Master Tech Expo in March, and then we have the CMA out of Canada also at the end of March.
Dang.
So it's like right out of the gate, three big events that we're doing big events at. So like at Knowledge Fest, we're doing a class that's pretty big, and then at Master Tech Expo, we're doing the Clean Wire Challenge that we're promoting right now to get entries for, and then the CMA out of Canada, we're going to be doing right now at least one big training, but possibly two, as well as like maybe on the floor stuff, and it's like, sure, sounds great, man.
Yeah.
Um, and
I hope
then
you weren't a 5-star install. Hope you weren't wanting a 5-star install in March.
March
It
is
ain't
going to be a
happening.
tough one. March is definitely going to be a what's up, Toids?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, March is going to be tough, and I think and then honestly, I know there's like two more past that, possibly three more past that, but
Yeah.
uh, 12
You,
days
you
of Christmas. Yeah,
you
so the
just
12 days of
gotta. What are the
well,
12 days of Christmas packed? Are you booked up? You got all your stuff lined up?
so we have one vendor, two vendors, two vendors. We're waiting for their stuff to show up. Otherwise we have 10 of the 12 vendors stuff has come in.
Wow.
So that starts on the 10th, and then we kept it right at 12. It's like we as soon as we got 12, we were done asking because I was like, I don't have time.
Right.
I have so then the 11th is the installer of the year videos due. So I have to get that going.
Oh,
Um,
you're not on the panel this time?
no, I ran, and so I made it in the top 12. So I got to make the other video, the companion video for that. Um, Whatever. I'm hoping to. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But that's due. So that's gonna be rough because that's due on the 11th, and then we have two morale videos we still have to shoot.
Yeah.
And we haven't even like started shooting yet. And then, dude, we have some focal stuff we have to do. I have a display I have to build for audio control. And then just regular work 6 days a week.
Yeah. Then you have to
So,
do like 55 Jeep installs and 10
dude, I swear to
10
God,
F-150s.
this week we've done I think we've done 5 Jeeps so far this week. Had
Really?
two big jobs in Jeeps. Yeah, two like couple radios and backup cameras, but then like a giant Gladiator system and then another JK full system, and it was just like Jesus Christ. Morning, people. What's up?
Oh, what's up?
Yahoos.
You
So,
remember that was a big thing? Yahoo!
oh, I love it.
uh,
Oh, hey, thanks, Baba. Yeah,
yeah.
Johnny. Yeah, Johnny. Johnny Boland is out of Texas, and it's always funny because it's like, hey man, you coming to Knowledge Fest Dallas, and yeah, all right, let's hook up, and it's like 5 minutes, get like 5 minutes, it's like Fro,
Yeah.
we he, I think the most time we've gotten to spend with him was when he drove out when we were in Washington, and he drove out and had lunch with us, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Drove from
but
California to Washington?
no, he's in
Oh.
the next state up.
Canada? Isn't that what's
No, next state down.
Oh,
Next
okay.
state down.
I was like, what's above
Yeah, I don't know,
Washington?
up, down. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then at MasterTech last year, he got to go, but I was so busy with Kenwood that I didn't really get to spend time with him. I think we ate lunch once. Oregon, thank you.
Mhm.
Brain fart. But then I sent him and Fernando out to do the live show, which was cool.
Yeah.
So him and Fernando got to do the live show at MasterTech, which was a lot of fun for them. I was still too busy pimping. And this is why Biamp is important. And here's how you use the Kenwood products to do Biamp. And everyone going, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, yeah.
And then you add a passive and you go try mode, and now we're back to the 90s.
Whatever works.
Have you ever heard a good system that did try mode?
Oh, you mean like mixed mono type stuff?
Right, mixed mono, yeah.
No.
I think maybe I heard, but it was so young in my career, I don't know if it was like a good system or not,
Right. And that's my point. I mean, it's like everyone
Yeah.
wanted to run 225 HDCAs and giant passive crossovers and be like, look what I did with 50
Yeah.
watts. And it's like, I don't know, like, that looks so cool. I don't care.
Yeah. And you lost, 25% of your power through the passive anyhow.
I doubt it. Yeah. I mean, sure, you're so full of shit. Why are you saying stuff like that, man? You're gonna get people like, oh, see, passives, they just raw power. It's like, no, they don't.
Well, that's a different, like, not on component sets. On subwoofers, they probably, it depends how much power you're putting
it
through 'em.
depends.
Yeah.
I mean, subwoofers, you got these big big coils, and
yeah,
but still, I mean, hey, listen, if you can do active, and let's just not even have the debate.
Yeah,
You know,
I like running passive crossovers, so.
In my first system, I had 2 Pile 12s and 2 big passive crossovers because the amplifiers didn't have them. On a 280 GX. I was like, rock on, baby.
Although I don't think I've ever run them on subwoofers. But as far as component sets, ones that are actually truly designed for the component set, if you don't know what you're doing, run the passives, because if you're doing your own install and you're running active, I mean, things could go bad. They could go good, but they could also go really bad.
Well, I mean, yes, definitely. I mean, but if you think about it, like if you can go active, you can set any crossover point you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey man, go. The world is your oyster.
Yeah.
And you're a phone call away or some basic math away from having the right crossover point. Trimo driven system with a 4th order bandpass and a sub full range speaker. Only caps on the full range, no crossover. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so caps and coils.
What's been going on at 5 Star? I've been working in my garage my garage.
Okay.
Since Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So I pulled everything to one side, painted one side, painted the roof, pulled everything to the other side, painted the other side, painted the roof. We went up into the attic, laid more flooring in the attic, separated everything, got it all sorted. Now I'm putting the garage back together. So I have not worked on video, car audio, or anything. It's all been working in the garage and on the garage, trying to get my room back. I have laid so much stuff out by that curb that people just come pick up.
Yeah, you got to do that like every 2 years in a garage, I feel. We still park our cars in our garage, so.
Oh, yeah, you got to. At this point, like the way it was before, you could get one, but I had to move some stuff. The way it's going to be, I could get 2 if I needed to. Yeah. And one with no problem at all.
Yeah. So. Right now we can't because we have Christmas totes everywhere, but I mean, other than that,
So we had to delay the Christmas totes because we were doing. So I made a deal with the devil, aka Cassie. I said, listen, let's do the attic. Let's get it sorted. We won't have to be up here shuffling stuff anymore. We'll have a clear path. And we kind of designed it so everything is around the edges of the of
The
the
whole.
walkways we put in. So
Okay.
all the flooring, you have open space to get whatever you need. But the deal was we do that, and then now I have to help her do Christmas stuff. Usually I'm just the guy that gets it all down and she puts it all up, but
Right.
I
Oh,
needed
that's
her to
cool.
help with the other stuff, so now I have to help with Christmas. So
Yeah. No, I mean, uh, we had Thanksgiving off. We did the Thanksgiving Day show on the beach. It was kind of overcast. That kind of sucked, but we had a great time doing that. Uh, obviously Thanksgiving, and then we went to last weekend. We had a Disney thing we had to do, or the girls signed me up for, which was like Disney's Very Merry Christmas party. So that was like till midnight Sunday night. So didn't get home at like 2 in the morning. So this week has been brutal. Uh, um, yeah, the infamous beach dream.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was preparing the turkey, so we those nifty little phone stands. I just put my phone in there,
Yep.
and then the whole family got to listen to you guys talk.
Yeah. No, we had a good time. It's
Yeah,
always fun. It was funny because I'm like, all right, let's try to keep the stereo questions to a minimum. So Haley
yeah,
would ask all the like personal questions and funny stuff, and then Fernando would be like looking for stereo questions. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
yeah,
And he wasn't getting the hint where I was like,
yeah,
Haley's asking all the fun questions, and you're asking
yeah.
all these, and he was just like,
Listen, he just in he's trained, right?
yeah.
That's what he does. Like so you didn't get him out of the programming before you started.
No, yeah, he was. Oh god, it was so funny. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
but no, hi-fi handyman. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like this week we've been watching World Cup. So
Oh
one
man.
of the TVs we have on has World Cup on it, and we've just been having that go in the background. Um, so
Yeah. Yeah. Well, football's over for me now, so all I got to look forward to is basketball.
oh, is football over?
Yeah. Well, we'll have a game. It'll be a bowl game, but that'll be it. So.
Oh, college. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't watch pro football, so I just never got into it.
yeah. I can turn the switch off. Car audio is not like breathing, but there again, I also do it way more than most people.
Right.
So turning it off is quite easy, but
Yeah.
it is a long day before I get to turn it off. So but that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's the difference, man.
Well, plus, like, I feel like we have a lot of stuff we're interested in. Like, I could do it. Like, I like tools and stuff. I like cameras.
Oh
Obviously,
yeah,
you like cameras, and there's always something that I could be super interested in. If I wasn't in car audio,
oh yeah.
I'd be investing it in something else.
Well, I do invest it in something else because I do this for a living. So
Right.
it's like,
Right.
you know, I'm good. I'm not gonna go out and do that because
Yeah.
I did. What was funny is, so Brian Mitchell, your friend of mine, he's gonna start doing some videos for ARC and stuff like that. And so
Oh
he's
wow.
he's updating all his camera gear. He bought like an 80D because he had some EOS lenses, and he's getting a Video Mic Pro, and he just got an A10 Mini.
Oh
And so
man.
he's slowly but surely, and so he's sending me pictures of this shit, and I go, oh, what the hell, man? Am I gonna have to start running like because he put up the picture of his LEDs and the power wire gimmick that he does.
Yeah.
And so I said, what am I gonna have to start running LEDs and shit in my power wire so I can be just like you, since how you want to be just like me? I mean, what the hell's going on here?
Right. Plus, like,
Um,
why didn't he consult you? Like,
we
if I'm
did.
if oh, okay, because I'm just
Like,
like, if you're gonna have to troubleshoot it anyways,
yeah,
like,
no, no.
let me help you pick the shit out to start with.
Oh, he did. He had me picked out everything because he goes, dude,
Yeah.
you got to stop calling me because every time you call me, I spend $1,000. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, let's stop asking.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is so like when we go February, when we go back to Vegas for Knowledge Fest, it's like, I'm like, dude, I want to go to this hotel, and this hotel. And he goes, all right, well, I'm going to bring my camera and you can teach me how to use it while we're walking around. And I'm like, hell yeah, deal.
Yeah.
Deal. I will totally do that, because whatever you need to know, man, I will walk you through how to use your camera and take great pictures. I have too many hobbies, but
Yeah.
car audio, yeah, always spikes interest. Yeah,
I
yeah, he's
noticed
got the
he picked up an A10 Mini too
yeah.
recently. I
Well,
just seen
A10
him
minis
post
are shit,
Facebook.
man. I
Oh, it's
mean,
awesome. Yeah.
I mean that's the one we travel with, the Mini, um, and I love it. I mean, it's like we were in Vegas, we preloaded all the artwork in it, so all we had to do is hit the button, um, and then we were like, why did I? And then it was funny because I was like, why didn't I just put it on StreamYard? Uh, so then
Yeah.
I just loaded it up on StreamYard, but it is still easier to do it like on the
On
Pro the big one that we have. It's way easier to do it on that than like
can
StreamYard.
can you match StreamYard with A10 Mini buttons? I swear I seen a video on that. I may be
I
mistaken. I may be mistaken though.
I don't know how you would do it though, because it's like you gotta, and there's not like a program. That would be weird.
Yeah, it
But
might have been. Maybe it was a Stream Deck. You know what I'm talking
mhm.
about?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, maybe it was that.
yeah, because you might be able to program URLs into that, and I
Right.
think that's what you'd probably have to do.
It's like a if this then that type thing. If you hit this
Yeah,
button, then that happens. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Some yards, sometimes it's good to have it like when you're doing this
Yeah.
stuff. It's good to have it in StreamYard, because otherwise it'll just ATEM will just put it in your box,
Hmm.
whereas StreamYard will put it across the top right here. So we just depends what we're gonna do. I mean, we have shit everywhere, so
Yeah.
the only thing is it's like anything else. I don't want to put too much into one thing and then it like they decide to break it or get rid of it,
Right.
or kind of like what they did. That one company did with the original streaming thing we were using was, they're like, yeah, we're just not going to develop for this anymore. And it was like, what the
Thanks,
hell?
bro. Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Like, you guys suck. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, shit. I'm glad I
Well, the
spent
cool
that.
thing about like the cool thing about like the Black Magic stuff is when you're running multiple cameras, that just makes life so much easier.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause,
you have to. Yeah.
yeah, you got to have something like that.
Yeah. Brian Mitchell is works for Arc Audio, and one of his specialties is when he's running wire through the car, he pulls out all the interior and he'll run LED strip lighting with it that go the direction of the flow of the signal in that wire, so that he can get a video for it. So when they judge the car for competition, they can show the clip of the video showing which way, like signal goes one way and power goes the other. It's just one of his signature things
Yeah.
that he does, along with putting QR codes shrink wrapped onto the wire so that the judges can scan the QR code and have the video launch.
And for people that had in the competitions, back in the day, it was just like a book, an
Yeah,
install book where they would have pictures, and some still do. But
yeah,
he kind of just took that and like ratcheted it
yeah.
up
So he has a
to
book printed every time he changes something on his car,
yeah,
and so which is cool because I have one of his books.
yeah,
He gave me one of his books. It's like, dude, you really know your way into my heart. You're gonna give me cool shit
yeah,
like this. It's like, God damn you.
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to be friends because you're just giving me cool stuff.
Have you
Yeah.
ever, you guys got the calendar? I think it'd be cool to have a coffee book of like some Dean Bayette pictures, just of awesome amplifiers. Just like, I mean, it would be expensive as hell to
Yeah.
print,
Yeah. I mean,
but I think it would be
the calendar was cool because Audio Control paid for it.
right. Exactly. You see, the thing is, we just need to find someone to sponsor this, and then
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it would have to be Audio Control because a lot of the
yeah,
pictures are theirs. So,
right. Of
um,
the clean wiring that goes on Instagram, but with like your
yeah.
nice cameras, and
Well,
that'd be
that's
awesome.
one of those things that it's like, that's one of those long,
Yeah.
like you got to be doing that and like planning that out. And
You
who's
got
got,
time.
I
I'm sure
don't
you
got
could
time.
lose 1 hour of sleeps here and there.
Oh, I do, but I don't want
Yeah.
to lose it doing that. You know,
Yeah.
like the last 2 nights, I've been designing. So in Knowledge Fest Vegas, we'll be with Morel, and they wanted to do a joint T-shirt, so like a 5-star Morel T-shirt.
Yeah.
So I've been working on the artwork for that, and now I have to work on the artwork for the lanyards that they want to do. And so it's like, okay, sure, I got time for that.
Might as well just do it.
You know, so yeah. the channel is going to suffer this month, I feel. Because between, it's okay. So like the 12 days of Christmas, it's like every day you're just going to get a video on what we're giving away that day or the day after.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's, some guys are going to like it, some guys are going to not, but it's like, I can't stay up till 2 a.m. and like handle the 12 days of Christmas and all the work
Yeah.
that takes, because it still takes a ton of work, because we have to go through every email and make sure that, it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's not 5 minutes, it's a lot. But we did get some really cool gifts this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll tell everyone what they are as it gets, maybe a week out. But
So when does that start? What day is that
the
start?
10th, it's a
The 10th?
Saturday, so it's like 2 weeks from 2 weeks, somewhere along there. Yeah, so it's gonna be cool. I'm excited this year, because it's like, we're like, listen, let's just dial it back.
Right.
Nice, simple, cool gifts that everybody, that people are gonna want.
Yeah.
And that's what we're,
And you're trying not to have a $3,000 shipping bill again this year.
trying not to have a $3,000 shipping bill.
Use Pirate Ship if you get a chance. Pirate Ship is the shit. They
No, why does Dean kill himself like this? All the masses want is 911 videos. I mean, the thing is, the reality is those are getting fewer and far between, which is cool. Because I mean,
Yeah.
the goal is to never have to watch a 911 video or have to work on a car that's just all screwed up. Because, at the end of the day, these are real people that are getting their money sucked out of their pockets by assholes that, are doing substandard jobs. That's no fun for anybody.
No.
It's bad for the hobby. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for everyone. I mean, not everyone is a DIY guy. Not everyone wants to tackle this shit. Some people just want to pay someone to do the job that they were promised. And when that doesn't happen, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
man,
that might have
we
been their
all
first
lose.
system, and they're like, I'm never getting
Yeah.
another stereo.
I
'Cause it's
mean,
a piece of junk. Yeah.
everybody loses.
Yeah.
Everybody loses, because
Yeah.
when you sit there and you go, hey, why doesn't this company invent or come out with this product or that product? It's like, well, because they don't have the budget for it. And
Mhm.
they're like, why? Well, because the it's just, it's not there. So there's a lot of things that work against product development and stuff. And yes, 911 videos are fun, but they're a pain in the ass for us.
Yeah.
But yes, any opportunity we get, we film them.
I didn't film much, but I got the 911 saga of my own that we talked about here.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, man, just come back. We're gonna do this right. So it was on a Saturday. I really didn't have a lot of time to film because I was trying to get it done. And we went ahead and we just completely redone from scratch his system. And I threw a kicker. What's it? The key lock.
Yeah.
That's the first key lock I ever installed. But they had a line output converter that was like a Scosche cheap one. Had bass roll off. He was like, man, I turn it up, it doesn't get louder. I was like, yeah, man, it's just rolling off the bass. So I done that. Got 1/0 wire ran in there, actual that's not copper clad aluminum. So I put 1/0, copper wire in there.
Yeah.
Put him a fuse block in, hooked up the key lock, and then he got an old Q class kicker that I had, one that I bought off eBay. A little beat up, but it's worked perfect for him. So we put it in there with that Amazon subwoofer that I tested not too long ago, and I made him buy a halfway decent box, so he didn't have the cheap prefab flea market box, and it was quite impressive. Let's just say he was shocked that 500 watts would do that much when the amp he had in there was said like 2,000 watts.
Yeah.
Or something, So
well, that's the joy of like the Key 501. People go, oh, that's gonna suck, and it's like, okay, put it in.
Let's see.
Let it do its de-equalization, fix all that bullshit, and then it's like, oh, wow, that sounds really good. And you're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then he was like, man, I can't believe that key lock cost so much. And I was like, yeah, well, you'll see. Like when we get, you'll see the difference between this $12 line output converter and this $100 line output converter. And once you hook it up and you get everything right, and it's just slamming compared to the bass roll off and all that other jazz, it definitely surprised them.
Yeah. I must be getting to mention I ordered too much Black Friday car. I forgot what I ordered, and I'm surprised when I get it here. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Sometimes I'm surprised when stuff shows up because I don't remember ordering it because it's like I order and forget. I think that's the new thing.
Yeah.
I didn't, other than shoes, I didn't order anything this Black Friday.
Dude, I ordered some. I didn't even get. I ordered these before Black Friday, but I got like a really nice Steve Mead fuse block.
Oh,
That's
nice.
power and grounded one. I didn't know.
Yeah,
it
one of the
made
new
those,
ones.
the
Yeah.
PNCs, and I was like, I got to get it. So
Yeah.
I got that. What else? I ordered some stuff to test on the channel. Oh, you might not have seen these yet.
Probably not.
So this is a little hybrid battery here.
Really?
Yes, it's a capacitor battery in one.
So is it a bat cap?
Like a really good one.
Okay.
It's a JY Power NXT 2KF.
Okay.
So you might know that because they've worked with Kicker. The Kicker had a lot of their batteries
those
before.
guys. Yeah.
So this thing is this big.
Yeah.
And it's capable of like doing a 2,000 to 3,000 watt system on your stock alt, depending on what vehicle you have. If you have an 80 amp alt, then of course not. But if you have like a Suburban with 150 amp alt, you could probably do 3K up with one of these.
Really?
Yeah. And it's light.
How much is one of those?
$300.
How much?
300. So I'm gonna be putting it through its paces. We're gonna test it, see how it does.
See if it'll start your car. See how many times it'll start your car.
Well, that's the thing. It is a capacitor, so it does need to be ran with a battery.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it does have a battery, but it's 4 amp hour battery part and 8 amp hour capacitor. So
okay.
But the smallness of it, I think it'll work cool in the Trooper for testing without having to upgrade the alternator and all that kind of jazz. Because I'm not going to do that.
That's cool. So I saw somebody was asking about the Slate Fiber. So that's one of the new speakers by Focal. So it comes in right below the Flax line. So and it's basically it's like French entry level, I guess would be the easiest way to say it. So like Access is entry level, but it's Chinese entry level Focal,
Right.
or built somewhere else. Might not be built in China. I honestly don't know where it's built. But Slate Fiber is an entry level France built product. And so it's like Slate Fiber, Flax, K2, and then you'll have the new K2 M profile, and then Utopia M. But the one cool thing that I want to get a pair of is they make a set of Slate Fiber home cabinets that are in their new, the new in-store, like car audio stores can be a home audio store.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's not like a full home audio store.
Right.
So it's like they make a couple Bluetooth speaker boxes, they make some mini amplifiers, they make a couple pairs of headphones. But they have these towers that have like a tweeter, 2 mid-range, and a mid-bass, all Slate Fiber, and they're gorgeous, and they're only like retails like $4,000. And I'm like, wait, how much? Like, because they're like, because like that same tower in like K2 is like, $5,000 a piece.
Yeah,
these are like $4,000 for the pair. And I'm like, shit. I want to that. Those are what gave us the ideas to buy boxes for the speakers that when we review them.
Yeah,
I was like,
dude, I stole your idea.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, I got to order some because I got to do the same.
Yeah. We did order a new mic, so we got the the XY Rode mic.
Oh,
Just to
really?
see, just to see what'll do, if that does anything different for us.
Dude, I have. Do you want me to send you that binaural mic I made?
No, no,
It's
I
got
don't
the
want.
ears. It's got real ears.
I know, I don't. I'm good. I'm good. I no. I did find, so we have like the AB switcher we got is really cool because it's literally just a box, wiring, and a big ass toggle switch. No
Yeah.
power, no nothing, and it doesn't click, it doesn't do anything, it just does what it needs to do. And I'm like, this thing's badass. But I did find another one that has VU meters. So it's just a little box with, it does this, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Denon used to sell a half din. That's all it
Yeah.
was just
Well, yeah.
two
Well,
VU
no,
meters.
Macintosh did that. That was Mac
Well,
had theirs.
Denon done it too as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
Macintosh had the big blue, the
It was
Macintosh.
sexy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they had the double din, or the din. I had a pair and I let them go, and I still kick myself in the ass for it.
Yeah. Those Denon ones are nice too, and they were ridiculous. I think it was no, that might have not even. I think they were 400 used back in the day. They might have been 800 new.
Yeah, I don't know. It was stupid money. It was stupid money back then, and money was cheap.
Right.
Now you'd be like, so who's gonna buy a set of VU meters in the dash for $1,000?
Nobody. Just basketball players.
Well, I mean, why would you? You could just buy JVC.
Right.
JVC has the VU meter page.
Or just get an iPad and use the Macintosh app. Have you done that?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah,
That's dope. Like I have seen people that had the iPad installs and had the Macintosh app. It's like, okay, I approve of this.
Yeah. I would still buy the JVC and just do it that way because way easier. It would actually work all the time, and it wouldn't have to be like, I think.
Right.
I got it. Yeah, because that would just suck ass. But oh well. I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, no. I mean, Derek at one point bought those like old school LED, the EQ RTA looking thing.
Dude, he's got so many of those.
Yeah.
You forget he's like he's a flea market, like an old school flea market addict. So he loves like everything that was in a flea market, like call sell and just all that junk. Like he loves it because it's weird and it's old and people didn't say that, they just threw it away.
Right.
So because it was junk,
Right.
It still is junk. So when he finds something like that he's in his zone, when he finds a piece of mint old flea market fodder, that's his jam. That is his jam right there.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's really the stuff he loves.
Oh wow.
Well, and I guess you got a point because people didn't save that stuff. It was junk, so it was like they just abused it and it was gone. And he's got all the Den Kinfords, all that crazy crap.
Yeah. Crunch still exists. It's owned by someone else, but it still exists.
Are they part of Maxonics?
I think so. Yeah, Crunch, Hyphonics,
MB
Court, which is their big brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a tough company, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's a tough company.
I had some of the PS 216s, which is the same model number when they were actually MB Court.
Yeah. Well, now they're actually coming out with I think it's already out, the series that's being built by German Maestro. So,
but not for MB Court. It's under a different name, right?
No. German Maestro is making the new MB Court speakers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't too. The one that I got from them, it was still $250, $270 set.
Oh yeah.
The premium, but it wasn't.
They have new German-made speakers being made by German Maestro. I don't think they're coming out and saying that, but we know they are.
Right.
So yeah, you can, and keep in mind now, because I was like, are they? No. So they're just having them made by the Germans. So
right.
It's not like classic MB Courts. They're their version of the speakers made in Germany for them by them.
Yeah.
Previous.
And I love the ultra MB Court. When it was truly. But dude, the tweets are so brutal. They are so
That's why I was never a fan.
like you really had to know work your way around those tweeters. The mids were fantastic though. The passives were great on those as well.
Yeah. The Ground Zero stuff is really nice. Like I've never been disappointed with any of their stuff. Like
Yeah.
never. I mean, everything that they've ever gave us to play with has just been like, yeah, that's cool. Like all the
Yeah.
way down to the little 6-inch enclosure they sent us. It's like,
Yeah.
wow. But the thing to keep in mind, like, so all right, so obviously one of the advantages of being me is running into and actually getting to talk to these people that work for these companies or run these companies. Like Carl, who is, I am the owner of, I am the owner of Ground Zero. Very good, yeah. And you're just, no, sorry, Carl, it was terrible. But it's just that's the cool thing about like all the trips I've been on is meeting these guys. I mean, yes, in the back end, I learn a ton about how they do their business, um, and what makes them unique. Which is always like when somebody says something about a brand that I've worked with, and they're like, they're just pulling some shit out of thin air, and you're like, dude, just shut up, because it just
Yeah.
kind of it's like because I have a personal relationship with some of these companies, and it's like, dude, you have no idea. You've never talked. Like, have you ever talked to Carl? Do you know who Carl is? Have you talked to Peter? Any one of the Peters that work there?
You
No,
talked
you
to one of
haven't,
the
have you?
Peters.
You don't know anything about any of these guys, and you're over here pontificating about, like, oh, this is, I'm the end all be all opinion maker, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know nothing.
Well, and you know what they do is they just say, okay, this company, I know I've seen this company does this. This company seems similar. They have a
Yeah.
product that looks similar. So they're putting two and two together and coming up with three,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so I
I
get
mean,
it, but they just, I don't know.
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know.
it's funny.
I hate to, they speak so authoritatively as well.
Yeah.
Like when I'm reviewing
Well,
something, I try to just be like, hey, this is my opinion. You
right.
guys might get this and not like it. Don't
No.
say that I said it was the greatest. I just said that I thought it was cool.
So the good part about that is, like, the good part about that is
Yeah.
because we get put under contract with so many of these guys to where we can't talk about shit. When
Yeah.
we test, like when we find stuff out that, like, you sit there and go, wait, what? And you're like, oh shit, or when we get contracted to do testing for manufacturers, and it's like this is this, you're like, well, that's that, yeah. And that's that. What is this? This is the one we want to use. And they're like, we just need to prove that this one is better than these two. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that, and you run it through its paces, and they're like, yeah, that one's shit, that one's shit. This is why we're gonna go with that one. But we just needed you to tell us that. And you're just going, okay, whatever. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And then you get somebody, oh, this one's so much better. And where are they going? No, it's not. No, we know it's not. We've tested it. We've tested it for them. We've tested it twice for them.
Yeah.
We've tested that and two others that look just like it. And they
Yeah.
suck too.
Well, and they're always talking like I notice every comment in a video, whatever, someone is always talking from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some
It's like,
some
did you watch the video?
right, and someone's like a straight up SQ guy, like, oh well, this is a piece of junk. We're like, well, to you, yeah. This guy
Yeah.
though, this
Yeah.
guy, this is his jam. It does
Yeah.
everything he needs to
Oh,
do for cheap.
and that is the great thing about car audio. There is
Yeah.
a product for everybody,
Yeah.
and I love it. That's honestly, that's what I love. Like, cause like when I started in this, there really was like the cheap crap, dude. That was cheap crap. Like,
Yeah.
that there was nothing good that was cheap back then. It was all expensive stuff. Now we have grades of product. I mean, there's the really good stuff. There's the really really good stuff. There's the
Yeah.
okay stuff. There's the how much money do you have stuff.
Yeah.
And every level in between. So it's like there's and I've said this before. It's like, dude, if you want to get into car audio, there is a price point for everyone to get into car audio. The problem falls in when it's like, all right, let's keep it real, okay? Let's keep it real. Don't sit here and tell me how great your $89 amplifier is when this dude rolls up and his is, $589 or $1,000. Like,
Yeah.
listen, you had the money to buy what you bought. Own it. Be proud of it. It's cool. It's not why,
It's
'cause,
not.
I mean, I
Why do
get
you
it.
have to be better than that? Because
Yeah,
it's cheaper,
everyone wants to compete.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to
Right.
compete. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're not going to win this. You're not going to win this. Just, I mean, be happy with what you have, but no one can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
know.
you can also appreciate like, damn, that's a sick like someone spent $1,000 on the amp or
Oh, yeah.
2,000. Instead of thinking like, damn, that's a cool amp. Like, you mind if I look at it, hear it? They're
Huh.
like, oh, like screw that amp.
Yeah,
You
who'd
paid way
spend
too
that
much
much
money.
money on an amp? That's
Right,
like
right,
like the Brax DSP. Holy shit! Why
right.
would somebody spend $6,500? Because they have it.
Yeah.
That's the life they lead, man. To them, that
Right.
ain't shit. To me, yeah, $6,500 for DSP. Are you out your fucking mind, motherfucker? Like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I want one, but damn, like,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's how I always am. Like,
I got
like man,
taxes
I
to
can't
pay.
afford this, but I want to I want to touch this.
Hey,
You
look,
paid
man.
for this, so I want to put my hands on it and see what it feels like.
There, like, someone asked today, which I thought was great. They said, if money was no object, what amplifiers would you buy? And I was like, I know immediately. It's like I have 3 off the top of my mind. Fernando added a 4th because there's a British company that makes amplifiers that are really cool. But I was like, dude, if money wasn't, I'd have the Tony D amplifiers that Steve is running. Like, those things are the shit.
Yeah.
I'd have the Audison
Thesis
Ventes or whatever the frick they're called, the Starbucks as I call them.
Yeah.
I'd have the new Sound Digital Pros that they just came out with, the Dual Mono Design Pros. That's that big one that I filmed when I was out there, and he told us all the Swedish Peter told us all the cool shit about, and there's there's a lot of amplifiers that we just don't have access to that the Asian market has because they spend money on that stuff that we don't. But
Right.
like putting a Vente system in a car over there is nothing. It's like,
Right.
$50,000 worth of amplifiers.
And they had just have like a totally different market. That's why I thought it was
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Craig, old school car audio. He's from Australia, works in Thailand a lot. And he was over in that area, and like some of the cars that he videoed on his channel, like, dude, those systems are dope. And a lot of stuff I've never even heard of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I said, those new Ground Zero Pro, whatever they're called, I can't even think of what they're called, are just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want those. I wanted one of the prototypes. And they're like, this is, they're Swedish accent. This is prototype number 13. And I said, well, you got 12 more that don't work. I'll take this one with me. You won't miss it. Just make prototype 14. What the hell? Because I'm over there and like they're telling me to be careful as I'm flipping it because it's literally still it's in like glue.
Right.
And Mosconi Pro 530 are my dream amps. That's a good dream amp, dude. I think the new 830 DSP is gonna be pretty badass. Like,
yeah.
And there again, okay. So now here's the problem. Here's where the fun comes in. You say like a Mosconi. Let's play this game. So Mosconi Pro 430,
right?
Or the new JP 4-channel by how many watts is it? Like 5,000 by 4?
No, it was 2,000 watts a channel or something like that.
Something crazy like that.
Right.
Okay, and I'm sure it's under $1,000, right?
Yeah, it's like $700 or $800.
Yeah, so it's under $1,000. Right. Whereas if you $800.
Yeah,
it's $700-800. Whereas like a Pro 430, what are they? $2,200?
Yeah, like 2,000, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, so double the money, easily double the money.
Yeah,
but keep in mind it's only like 120, 150 by 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are two people's dream amps right there.
And they are, and they're two people's dream amps for two totally different reasons. Yeah. But the problem is the guy that says, dude, that's stupid. Right. Either way.
Right.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either way. And it's not, but that's the problem. See, that is the one hard part that this industry can't get past. And sometimes us as YouTubers or just influencers, call it whatever you want, we involve ourselves into that conversation. And it's like, listen, there's a place for both of those amplifiers exist
Yeah.
and like do great things. Like, the guy that's buying the JP amplifier, dude, like you said, that's his dream amp, man.
Yeah.
He has a stunt wall from hell that
He's
like
fixing to
that thing is.
murder your face.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna hurt you, and he's gonna love every minute of it. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk by him, and I'm gonna be like, "Bro, that's oh my
Yeah.
god, you guys hearing this?" And everyone's gonna look at me like I'm an asshole because
Yeah.
they're like, "Dude, why?" I'll be like, "This is because it hurts," And
Yeah.
I'm a sadist apparently. And then the guy over there buys the Pro 430, and so and he's like got $4,000 tweeters in his dash and $2,000 mids in his
Mhm.
door, and he's like, "Dude, you hearing this?" Um, it was the same thing when I had the Brax tweeter on my pocket. So there's a guy out front. He just got done buying some louds from Paul, and I know the guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the usual guys. He works. He does installs for people. He's out front working on this dude's truck, and it's just door stunt wall doors. I don't know what you
Yeah.
call that. And we walk out there. Fernando and I walk out there because like, dude, this thing it's like we're hearing it in the bay. And I was like, all right, let's just go out there because this is just getting annoying. And I wanted to see what he had. And he's like, Joe,
Yeah.
check it out. And he starts telling me about all the stuff. And it was great because he is super passionate about it. And like
Yeah.
he's got some custom made subwoofers and he's telling me how great they are. And like I'm supposed to know who the guy is that built them. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's fucking cool, man. These look great. I mean, they look beautiful.
Yeah.
And I go, here, you want to see something? You want my turn? You want to see something cool? And I pull the tweeter on my pocket and I say, see this guy right here? I said, this is a pair. This comes as a pair. So this is $1,500. He goes, what? That's
Yeah.
a $3,000 set of tweeters? And I go, yeah. He goes, that better be the loudest tweeter I've ever heard. And I go, and that right there is the problem because the guy that equates volume with price, it's like, no, dude,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't sound like any of this. You guys aren't the same.
Yeah.
You
This
aren't
is
the,
this is not
not
the
the
tweeter for you.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people get caught up in that where they will buy an expensive piece of kit and they're thinking like, oh, it's going to be louder. It's like, well, no, no, no. It's just different.
I don't think the JL is too expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
The thing of it is that there's a lot of research and development that goes into their product and the software that they use and the DSPs and the DSP, like especially the VXI stuff. Like that's a
Oh yeah.
huge
The VXI
investment of
stuff.
time and money that they put into that. But here's the thing you also have to keep in mind is what will the market bear? Okay.
Yeah.
That goes into a lot of it. So like don't think for a minute like if it don't think for a minute that internet guys would charge you another $100 for the price of their amplifier if they thought they could get it from you. Okay,
Yeah.
if they can get $8.99 instead of $7.99, they're going to get it. They're going to ask for it because
Yeah.
that's what the market will bear. And that's I mean look at like Scar. Okay, Scar comes out with an amplifier, and I mean they do it all the time. You guys you've all seen it, or they'll come out with a product. It'll be let's say $5.99. If it doesn't move, like in 2 weeks, it's $4.99.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're having a sale. It's
Right.
$100 off because
Right.
no one buy it for $5.99. That wasn't the magic number. So they drop $100 off it. Now everybody wants it. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That was the price that people would pay for it. JL sells tons and tons of products because to their customers, that's just what it costs. That's just what it costs. Now, that's not to say that there isn't stuff that's better out there, it's just what it is.
Right.
But it's okay. Just because you're not on my team doesn't mean we can't be friends. It doesn't mean, like when I go to these shows and I see all these products that I don't sell, I'm excited because I want to see like if I see something that I've only seen a picture of that I've always wanted to see in person, like, oh hell yes. Like I'm gonna get up. I'm all up in that shit, man.
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, you okay? I'm like, just give me a minute. I've never seen one of these. And I want to look at all this. Like for Jeff came up today. Jeff lives in Georgia now. So we don't get to see him as much as we do, but he came by today to drop off a thumb drive for me. And he had a top secret package. And he's like, check this out. And I go, holy shit. And like, oh my God. I mean, I'm taking the top off this thing. I'm looking at like every single inch of this thing and just like with a fine tooth comb. Even if it's just I don't care. I want to
Right.
see it, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I went like 2 years ago when we went to Slam Fest, JP was out there with his amplifiers. I'd never seen him in person, you know? I walked, friend was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I gotta go see these things." Like,
Yeah.
like I'm tired of looking at pictures of it. I want to go see it. I went and picked it up. I looked at it. Looked at the acrylic. I flipped it over. Looked at the side. Looked at the engraving. Looked at the ends. Looked at the whole thing. Looked at the circuit board. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, these are pretty amplifiers. I like, this is cool. And I looked.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey man, good job." Set it down and walked away.
Yeah.
Um, you know, fuck yeah. I just like stuff. You
Yeah.
know, I
I
mean
I
that. Yep.
what I have so what I will say to this is in my opinion, to this day, the W7 is still one of the best all-around subwoofers you can get. That's why
So
that's why it hasn't completely been redone. Depending
no.
on your goals, like what is your goal? Is your goal to get to as loud as you can?
Okay.
It's not the
So
sub for you.
no. And there again. Okay. So you want to invent a product, right? You
Yeah.
you want to make a product, and you say, okay, is what is the most important thing, right? Some people are going to put price point at the top, okay, like price point, this number. So like when you look at like a Kicker CS product, price point number one, right here, it has to be okay. So even Steve Irby said, hey, listen, I really like designing like that stuff because it's a challenge. It's the most challenging thing we do because right at the start, it's like here's the price, but here's all the stuff we wanted to do. So we have to figure out a way to come
Right.
just okay. Now, I'll tell you another story. So I was talking to another manufacturer. This was years ago, and I said, "Dude, when are you guys going to update your amplifiers?" And he says, "All right, so check it out. Our amplifiers right now, today, we've been making them for X amount of years. Cost this amount of money for us to make it." He says, "If we make any of the improvements," and he goes, "and I have a list of improvements I'd like to make on this amplifier. Our cost would go up 4 times." And he goes, "Now, do you think these changes we want to do, like you're talking about, do you think they're worth 4 times the amount of money?" And it was like, no. He goes, okay then. So why would we change it? It still
Yeah.
sells. It's still good. It still does
Yeah.
exactly. It's so great, actually. It still does everything it needs to do. It doesn't have these features. Are we going to do it at some point? Yes, of course. But there's a time that makes sense. Now, radio manufacturers like Alpine, okay, these manufacturers are starting to figure out I don't need to change what if the wheel is still round and spinning and doing what it needs to do. Why do I need to change it every year? Because that costs a lot of money and that brings the price up.
Yeah.
So, like the ILX W650, I think it's going on 3-4 years that it's been in the lineup. All right, now let's look at Focal Flax. Let's look at mids and highs, just in general, mids and highs. Like the Focal Flax. The Focal Flax has changed twice since it's come out. They went from
Right.
the regular Focal to the Evo. Okay, but tooling and everything basically stayed the same. All they did was a rev on it to fix because it was a first gen. K2s have had 2 or 3 revs, but 2 that kept the same basket because it was just like, okay, we built this speaker and then we've changed it to make the problems. They've done that with the W7. They just don't talk about it.
Right.
Everybody does that because, like talking with this same amplifier manufacturer, I'm like, well, he goes, dude, if you go buy an amp that one of these amps that we made back when we first started and compared it to today's amplifier, it's not even the same circuit board. Like you look at it and go, what the heck am I looking at here? Other than
Right.
the heatsink, everything is different. But we don't want to kill the momentum of the product by going V2 or V4. It's
Right.
not a cell phone. So yeah, I mean, they've changed the woofer. I guarantee there's been
Oh
small
yeah.
changes they've made to the woofer. I mean, even the Kicker Q class, the original
Yeah.
Kicker Q class that came out sucked. They spent $150,000 to redesign the motor structure on that. That's right, to redesign the motor structure on it because it was overheating. They couldn't figure out
Yeah.
why, so they
I
sent it out to
remember
a
that.
place. It was $150,000 to figure out what the fuck was going on. And like if you've ever seen us taken apart, there's this little tiny plate that sits inside of the motor structure, and that is designed to move air in and out like a vacuum so that it keeps all the air okay. It was
Circulating. Yeah.
150 grand to make that. Do you know how many subwoofers you have to sell to pay for 150 grand of
Right.
tooling? for one little piece of it, keep in mind you still have all the other tooling. To bring out the Utopia M's, it was something like $1.5 million investment to build the whole structure, like from design to tooling. That's how much money that costs. Okay. $1.5 million for a set of speakers. Fuck me. Okay. So yeah, it might take a couple years to get our money back out of something, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, but that's some of the inside shit that like you just don't, why would you care?
Yeah,
Nobody.
you don't know unless you know.
Right. And that's, a lot of people just throw mud and like, oh, it's like, no, there's more to it.
It's amazing what you can get. You can walk in with $200 and get a Kicker CXA 800.
Yeah.
That is a killer entry level amp. It's like, dude,
plays down to 9 volts.
Right.
It won't cut off.
Right.
It's not going to put 800 watts, but
you can get a freaking Kicker key for what they're like 280, 290 now or something
dude,
like that.
That sucks. That's way too cheap.
I know.
That's silly.
Well, wait, someone who's experienced like the magic of it. Now, it's not great in every system, but in most systems, especially on simple upgrade, it really is magic. When
it is 100%. Yeah. It was funny too when that thing first came out, and Aaron put up a slide at one of the things I was at, and he's like, you sell them a Kicker key, and then you take the Kicker key, and when they come back and they want more power, which I was already like, why do they want more power? Just make a bigger Kicker key.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you can just use this as the preamp going into your KX amplifier, and I was like, who would do that? No, why would you do that? Like, it doesn't make it. And then it's like you use the key and you're like, okay, I see why somebody would do that.
Right. Yeah. As you're saying that, that's why I'm thinking like, what, there is times where I'm like, maybe I would do that.
Yeah. There again, if you okay, so I mean, it's a $250 DSP.
Right.
That works. It's like
one that you don't have to tune yourself.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, well, that's why you do it, because if you put it in and it sounded good, and you just wanted more power, throw a bigger amp onto it. I mean, their amps will take the input voltage. They'll take 10 volts of input. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Which speaking of which I think that's what Andy needs to do, because he put the Kicker key in with the quad box,
right?
And it's like it's not enough power. Obviously, right. He's got 2 CXA 1800s on a quad box, right? So yeah, maybe use the key.
Well, we were using the Key 501 as our line driver into the 2400 for the quad box.
Yeah, so he could use that then add another.
Well, in so the company, the bat cap thingy that you had there, that company, they were in that crazy truck they built, that big. They were using Q class amplifiers as their line drivers.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, so all those amplifiers were all driven by Q class amplifiers. So they were using Q class because they had the DSPs built into Q class. So they just fed all the Q class amplifiers into the input stages of the KX amplifiers that were powering everything else. So I was like, fuck yeah, that's how you do it, bro. Screw line drivers, just use amplifiers with DSPs built into them. And you will never have to worry about voltage issues as far as going into the input of the amplifier. Oh, you're not getting enough. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I have a 75 watt by 4 amplifier powering the input section of my amplifier. I have my gains turned down.
Yeah. Zero gain, bro.
Zero gain.
Not only do I still have more than half the gain to go, bro.
More than half.
Oh.
That's funny. But yeah, no. Hey, you never know. You never know.
You don't
Put
know
some
until you know.
door speakers on a JL amp and 2 Fosgate 12s in my son's car when he left for college. Yeah.
Not a bad.
Dude, I'm still impressed with those auditors, man. Holy crap. Like, I
don't know that I've ever heard any auditors.
Dude, auditors sucked for years. And that's why they, anything. Dude, when we got them in, I was like, and then I looked at them and I was like, oh. Because that was the thing with Auditor. Focal was just, it's like, they were like, shit or get off the pot, guys. Because Auditor was like, they were like the black sheep. Like, this isn't really Focal. And it was like, no, listen, hey, guys, you either put their logo on it let the guys design it, take credit for it, or just dissolve the line altogether. And so it
Right.
was like, here's the new auditor designed by Focal. We're the tweeter, everything, and it's like, holy Jesus, man.
Yeah.
They're impressive. I mean, they finally sound like a Focal. I was like, shit. All right, now we're talking. Affordable Focal stuff.
What are those, like $200 or $300 or something?
They're cheap. I think they're even cheaper than that. I mean,
Really?
they're
I might have
like,
to pick some up because
yeah,
I haven't messed with any.
hey, you know what? I'm not saying that they're part of the 12 days of Christmas, but
Yeah, might possibly be. Yeah,
there's a possibility. If anybody needs a set of 5x7s, stay tuned to the
somebody
12
with a
days of
Ford.
Christmas.
You mean somebody with a Ford?
Yeah, I don't care.
That's who
Somebody
needs
a set of 5x7s. Just,
yeah.
I'm gonna have you, bro.
I got you.
Oh yeah, right. Dude. Yes, dude. You can't. I mean, trust me, for the price, and that'll definitely drown out that little motor in your Beetle, man. Your Beetle. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the Germans say W's different anyway, so it technically would be a Beetle.
A Beetle.
Yeah. All right.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in movie talk, head over to the next show. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Have a great night. Bye.